Good morning, artists. How are you today? Do you have any instruments at home? I have a piano. I also have a violin. You put it under your chin and use a bow to make music with it. I also have a ukulele. My daughter Lily knows how to play this one really well. I also have a trumpet. I'm not very good at it. I haven't played that one in a long time. Do you have any instruments at home? Well, today in art and tomorrow in music, we're going to combine the two. And I want you guys to make musical instruments. Now, we did some of this in school. We made some drums in some classes. We made some tambourines, some maracas. We made a couple of other things. So I want you guys to make some musical instruments at home. Now, I'm going to show you some samples of some of the things that my artists have made just to inspire you and get you started. And then I want you to make some musical instruments. And then tomorrow with music, I want you to play those musical instruments for me, okay? All right, let me show you what ideas I have for you, okay? All right, here are some samples that I brought in for you to see that all of our artists made at school this year. So first, we have a tambourine. This is a good rhythm instrument. This was made by Emerson. Inside of here, she has beans. Mrs. Lewin will show you how to do that later. Then I have another type of tambourine. This is made by Keith and Hedgehogs. This one also has beans in it. It sounds really good, doesn't it? Next, I have some maracas. Can you hear it? This has beans also, and this is made with spoons and an Easter egg. I bet you guys have some Easter eggs at your house right now, right? I'll show you how to make them. Then right here, I have a shaker box. Listen. This is made by Rose. This one has rice on the inside. You can kind of see it in there, can't you? So the rice has a soft sound while the beans have a loud sound. So you can choose what kind of sound you want your instrument to make. And last but not least, I've got my hobo banjo. This is made by some of our owls. This was Ariana in our owls class. Can you hear it? You can pluck it. You can make the strings make different noises because they're just rubber bands. Pretty cool, eh? Isn't it beautiful? So let Mrs. Lewin show you how to make some of these. Okay, let's start with the hobo banjo. Now these were made with little plastic tubs that Mrs. Lewin had, as well as a paint stir stick with the rubber bands. Now you can use any kind of a box. It can be a shoe box. It could be boxes like this that I happen to have at my house. It can be a piece of Tupperware. It could be anything as long as you get permission from your moms and dads. First, you'll decorate it, but then that's how you put your rubber bands on your box after you have it all decorated, okay? The rubber bands go very, very last. Now, to make a stem, you could use a paint stir stick like I had, or you could even use a tube that's from a paper towel roll. Now, there's different ways of doing it, and you can, so I glued this stick on with a hot glue gun, or you can cut the ends of the tube, and if you give it like 5 or 6 cuts all around the edge of the tube, as you see here, and then you would fold back the little pieces you did. You want to have the same length of cuts. See how I'm folding them back? You can either use glue or tape to put it on a box instead of using hot glue if you don't have a hot glue gun, okay? So that way you can attach your stem for your hobo guitar, all right? Now our next item that I'm going to show you how to do is just a shaker box. It's very simple. This is just a takeout container that I had. I rinsed it out. And you would just fill it up with either beans or rice, whatever kind of noise you want to have, or you can even use beads. Mrs. Lewin uses beads sometimes. That makes a really loud noise. See these beads? That noise would be really, really loud. So you could use those as well. So you have to decide what kind of sound you want to make, okay? Next up are the tambourines. Now, there are two different ways, or actually several different ways you can use it. I am using, for some of them, some paper plates. Now these are stiffer paper plates. They're like the cardboard kind. You can use plastic plates. You can use all different kinds of plates. It doesn't have to necessarily be the stiffer kind. It's just the stiffer ones last longer. This is also a takeout container. I just got it at the dollar store. They come in like a stack of 3 or 4 and it closes on itself with the tin foil. But I'll show you real quick if you use the plates. All around the rim, you want to use some glue. You can use hot glue, but it's probably better with a plate this size to use regular white glue like we use at school. And you want to put it all the way around the edge on one side. Then you'll take a second plate and you'll set it right on top. And you want to press it down nice and firm. Okay, but don't move it around. You got to let that sit and dry for probably about an hour or 2, okay? And then when you're done, you can decorate it, okay? Now our next item that we are going to make are the maracas. These are kind of tough to make, but if you have help with a mom or a dad or a grandma or a grandpa, you can make them really easy. Now in class we use spoons, but I don't have any plastic spoons at home right now. I only had plastic forks, so I decided to use that. You'll need an egg that you can fill with beans, or you can fill with beads like Mrs. Lewin did, or you can even fill it with rice and make a softer sound of maraca. I'm going to use the beads that I happen to have at home today. You want to fill the smaller side, not all the way to the top, but you want to fill that side because the big side will give you space so that you can actually hear your things move. If you fill it all the way up on both sides, you won't be able to hear any noise, okay? Then I'm taking some masking tape and I'm wrapping it around the opening of, or the seal of the egg and around one of the forks. I'll take the second fork and set it on it so that when the fork stems come together, it makes a little V down there. And then I'll squeeze them so that they stay together. And then I'll take another piece of tape and I'll wrap it around. And see, now I've already got the starting of my maraca. Then I just take tape and I cover the whole thing with tape. And that just makes it more secure so that your beans or your rice or your beads won't come flying out when you're making your music, okay? If you are using forks like Mrs. Lewin did, you can cut off a little bit of the end so that they're not pokey, or you can just take tape and cover that up and it won't be pokey on you. So once you have the entire thing covered with tape, that's when you can use either some acrylic paint, which is the special paint that Mrs. Lewin had recommended at the beginning of our stay-at-home classes, or you can even use like paper with some glue to cover it and then use tempera paints and paint on it and decorate it with glitter or whatever you want. Okay, now this last one is a train horn. And again, I'm going to use one of those tubes that I have from a paper towel roll or even a toilet paper roll. I took a balloon and I cut off the end of the balloon. And then I also cut a little slit at the top of the balloon. See that little tiny hole? And I used scissors to do that, so you got to be careful. And I put it over the end of my paper roll. Now, I didn't push it all the way down, but I see how I have a little poking out the top? You want to have it so it's loose, and then you're going to tuck it down in there and you're going to blow in it and it'll make the sound of a horn. Wait till you hear it. I'll show you now. All right, are you guys ready to make some music with your instruments? Sounds like a train, doesn't it? I'm really excited to see what you make with all of your artwork and your instruments. So make sure you send me a picture of you working on your projects and what they look like when you're done. And you can even make a video of you doing some music with it. Tomorrow, I want you to do some music with your new instruments and send me a video, okay? When they're all done and all dried and ready to make music with, okay? I look forward to seeing it. I miss you all. Mwah! I love you, and I will see you soon. Bye.